Do you see any more wars while Obama is in the White House?
I did, and I was feeling like there is going to be this threat from Iran. He's sort of a loose cannon, but they believe, just as we believe, that we are right.
Mm-hmm.
And I do believe that Iran is going to unite with North Korea, and I do believe that there is going to be a war that begins to take place, and it is going to definitely involve Iran. The focus should be Afghanistan, and Osama bin Laden is going to come out of hiding. People are going to see him and to know where he is at times, and I do feel like there's going to be a secret plan that's going to really try and catch up with him, but it's going to escalate the war that may be impending with Afghanistan and Iran.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of ugly, and President-elect Obama is going to do everything he can to try and bring our troops home, but I get the impression that as he's pulling them out of Iraq, he's going to have to be sending some to Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Iran.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, let's move over to the governor of Illinois. What is going on with that situation?
Oh, Beverly, that is just so amazing to me. I do get the impression that he will be impeached. And he's tried to play a really smooth hand, and I do get the impression that he is guilty of what he has been accused of, trying to sell that seat, trying to stack the bucks in his coffers, and he feels like he's done it in such a way that they really can't nail him to the cross. But there are going to be two people that are going to step up. Both of them are male that are going to step up, and they're going to testify against him. So he is going to be found guilty. I do get the impression that in some way it is going to tarnish the name of Jesse Jackson Jr., but I do not feel in any way that Obama or anybody on his team was involved in him trying to sell the seat, but they were making recommendations in terms of perhaps who he should put in that area.
Okay, so
but it's messy.
Yeah, so other words, Jesse Jr. is not going to get that seat.
I don't believe he's going to get that seat because I feel like this entire situation is going to tarnish him in some way, and part of it is because I do believe that he was one of the names on the list suggested by the Obama staff. And they're wanting to kind of put their own boys in there. They still want to keep that old boy network. And so I get the impression that he's going to be tarnished as a result of that. He'll have to work very, very hard in order to be able to regroup and make it happen. He would be excellent in that position. He's got what it takes to make it happen. But I get the impression that once they feel like he'll be able to ease himself or distance himself from the controversy, then I get the impression that they're going to be kind of searching into his personal life to find some other things about him. So they don't want him in that seat.
Now, what about Kennedy? She's trying to get Hillary's seat in New York. Caroline Kennedy.
I do have some information that I kind of gotten on her. It's going to be a very, very difficult road for her. We have to keep in mind that there is still a fear of the Kennedy influence. And you know that the Kennedy family influence was major, as well as the Oprah influence in terms of uniting people and getting them to rally behind Senator Barack Obama. I do get the impression it's going to be a hard road for her. She is more qualified than they think that she is, but they haven't wanted a Kennedy in office with that much power. They've tolerated Ted, but it's going to be difficult for her to get approved in some way. But she is qualified to make it happen, and she would be a good senator. But I'm also feeling like there's going to be controversy between she and perhaps people that were a part of the Hillary camp.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
now, what about her brother? I have heard rumors that some people say that his plane went down, but that was not an accident because he was talking about running for office too. Do you feel like that was an accident, or was the plane messed with?
I feel like it was an accident. I kind of looked into it at the time that it happened, and certainly all the indications were there for someone to tamper, because they knew had he run for anything, he would have won. He would have had the same effect on the American people, on the American youth, that Senator Barack Obama has had. And again, there is that fear of that Kennedy influence. But I do get the impression from what I read when I looked into his death is that it was truly an accident, and he was truly off course and lost his bearings.
Okay. Now, the banking system, are they going to get off like Bush and Cheney, or are some people going to go to jail or lose? I mean, I know they got deep pockets too, but it was a lot of crooked stuff going on with that banking on Wall Street.
Beverly, there was so much crooked stuff. I kept seeing money's being handed under the table, money being handed under the table. This was all a part of snatching out the money out of the economy before Bush left office.
Okay.
And there are going to be two men, maybe a third, that they kind of hang out to dry, but they're not even going to scratch the surface of those that really need to be accountable. Because, see, there's still a lot of money out there that's not accounted for. They don't know where it is. They don't know how it's been distributed. And as of 2009, when the second wall of the mortgage controversy falls, there's even going to be more money kind of sucked out of the economy. So they are going to put a couple guys out there on Front Street, but they are not the major, what should I call them, black hands, so to speak. But they're going to offer up a few heads and feel like we'll be satisfied with that. But the American people are not going to be satisfied. They're going to be calling for more.
And why is it that they're going to give them the second part? They already not even, they're asking them what are they doing with the first part of the money they gave them, and they won't tell them. Why would you go back and give them some more money?
It's already written in the plan. It was already a part of the plan to begin with. That's right. It was already a part of the contract, half now and half later.